Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learning truth, 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet service scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere, and your children, shalom. And then today's video is going to be titled, Be Strong in the Lord. You see, and that's ultimately what we got to be doing now more than ever in this time. You see, doing everything that we can do in our power to stay close to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. You see, praying more, fasting more, and reading the scriptures more, man. Because as it says right here, I'm going to start off with this precept right here. This is St. Luke, right? Chapter 22, and I'm going to start at verse 31, because this is what's going on with us in our day-to-day lives. We know, as it says in the book of Isaiah, that, roughly paraphrasing, that he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. So we ultimately know that when we depart from the ways of this world, that we constantly got Satan after us, man. You see these demonic forces that we're ultimately fighting against that are trying to pull us back into the ways of this world. You see, and we ultimately got to be strong in the Lord in these times, doing the necessary things that the Lord have given us to do to combat these forces, you see, whether it be fasting, praying, meditating in the scriptures, you see, things like that. That's what we got to be doing, especially now more than ever, knowing the time and season that we're in. But I'm going to read this precept. It said, and the Lord, Yahushua, said, Simon, Simon, which was Peter, you see, it says, behold, Shaitan have desired to have you that he may sift you as wheat, you see, and that's what we got to ultimately understand in this thing of ours, that when we come into this thing, you see that, hey, we got forces that are against us that are trying to pull us back into this world, man, that are trying to make us depart from the faith. And guess what? We got to fight against those forces. And ultimately, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua have given us all of the tools necessary that we need to ultimately to fight against these forces, man. You see, and to fight against these negative thoughts, to, fight against ourselves, because we ultimately know that the battle is within. You see, the old man versus the new man, they're all battling against each other. That's why, as it tells you in Romans chapter 12, and I'm actually get that verse 2, and it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and the perfect will of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. And how do we constantly renew our mind? We renew our mind through the scriptures, man, through prayer, through fasting, through doing certain things that we got to do to get closer to the Lord, so that we may not be pulled out of this truth. You see, for these demons cannot, sift us and pull us back into the worlds and pull us back into bondage and things of that nature. You see, we don't want to go back to that, you see, so we ultimately want to continue to stay strong in the Lord. So I'm actually go to this precept right here as well, because like I said, we're fighting against ourselves, right? This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. You see, it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, right? And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, you see, because like I said, the spirit wants to do the right thing. You see, that the spirit wants you to be strong in the Lord. The spirit wants you to do everything in which it is that is pleasing unto your power to the best of your abilities. But the flesh is what we're fighting against, you see, and the flesh is what's consistently fighting against you day in and day out, trying to get you to go off, trying to get you to indulge in certain things that is not beneficial to your spiritual health. You see, so these are the things that we're fighting against. We're fighting against our spirit and our flesh, and this flesh is trying to fight against the spirit and vice versa, you see. And I'm actually go to verse 17. It says, for the flesh, right, lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So like I said, there's a constant battle and fight that's going on, man, within ourselves. You see, those negative thoughts trying to overcome those positive thoughts, you see, and we want to lean more over into those positive thoughts, man. You see, trusting in Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man, right? Because as it tells you right here, this is Matthew 26 and verse 41. KJV, it said, watch and pray, you see, because that's what we really got to be doing, praying, man. You see, that's why the scriptures tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 17 to pray without ceasing, man. You got to constantly be praying, speaking to myself first and foremost, because like I said, these spirits, they're lurking, man, you see, and hey, don't think that we're not out here battling, man, and that things are not trying to pull you out of this thing, because that's exactly what's going on. It tells you in 1 Peter 5 and 8 that Satan, you see, Shaitan walked about as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour, man. You see, so you got to be guarded up spiritually, man. You see, so it says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So like I said, the spirit wants to do the right thing. You see, but the flesh is weak. You see, and the flesh is the weak nature that you don't want ultimately to be controlling you and what you don't want to be given over into. You see, but like I said, that's why we have this word, man. We have these scriptures. We have all of the tools and the weapons that the Lord have provided us with. You see, that we're able to combat against these things, man. You see, so I'm gonna actually grab this. This is St. James chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Resist the devil and he will flee from you, you see? And that's what we got to be in the mindset of doing. When these negative thoughts come in your mind, you see, trying to get you to doubt and things like that, you got to rebuke it. You see, speaking to myself first, because we all go through these things. You see, we're all fighting, so you want to not give over power into Satan, man. You see, you want to continue to fight against them, you see, through being in the word, through prayer, through doing certain things that you got to do to ultimately fight against these demonic forces that are ultimately trying to sift you, man. You see, and this is for all us hopeful elect men, man. And you few aquaf out there, you sisters that are sincere, because we're all fighting, you see. But I'm going to grab this precept as well. This is it's a good one as well. This is Ephesians chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 10, right? Because this is what we ultimately got to do, because this is the weapon. These are the things that the Lord have given us to ultimately be able to protect ourselves in this spiritual fight that we're in. You see, to keep ourselves level headed, to keep us afloat. You see, to not allow these demonic things to overtake us, to not allow us to give over into the flesh and the weak nature. You see, it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. You see, we got to be strong in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. We can't be strong in ourselves. We can't lean into our own understanding. We can't believe in thinking that we know the way and that we can do things and we can get ourselves out of certain situations and get ourselves through certain battles that we face. No, we got to trust in the Lord, man. We got to give it to him. You see, let the Lord deal with it. You see, we can't doubt. We can't worry. We can't do none of those things. All of those things are the flesh, man. You see, verse 11, it says, putting on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, man. You see, and those wiles goes into the tricks, man. Because like I said, Satan do all type of things to try to get you, man. Play off your emotions, play off your mind. You see, he comes cunning, man. He's very crafty in how he does things, man. You see, but when you have on that armor, you see, when you trusting in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, then guess what? You're able to not give over or not to be able to be deceived or tricked by Satan. You see, and the fiery darts, which it is, he's going to throw at you, So it says, verse 12, this is the reason why. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, man. You see, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood enemies, man, but against principalities, which are demons on the left hand side, man, which are the same spirits that are ultimately, trying to sow those negative thoughts into your mind, trying to get you to take your hand off the plow, trying to get you to quit, trying to get you to give up. You see, trying to get you to lose hope in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You see, those spirits that are trying to pull you back into the world. You see, those are the things that we're fighting against, man. You see, it said, and against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. You see, and I'm going to just read on down. It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day and have it done all to stand. You see, and we know that evil day is approaching, which is talking about the times that are to come, Jacob's trouble, our temptation, etc., man. You see. So it says, verse 14, stand therefore having your loins girded about with truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, right? Verse 16, above all, taking the shield of faith, right? Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And as it tells you in Romans 10 and 17, that faith coming by hearing and hearing by the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So like I said, that's just a further indicator that we need to be spending more time speaking to myself in the scriptures, man. We got to constantly be in the scriptures, man, because that's what's going to cleanse us. That's what's going to keep these negative forces from ultimately taking over us, man. You see, that's what's going to keep you from giving over into the flesh. You see, praying, staying in the spirit of, doing the things in which it is the Lord have given us to be able to combat these things, And it says, verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the spirit, which is the word, right, of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, man. Right. Verse 18, and praying always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So like I said, those are the tools right there. Those are all of the things that Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua have given us that we need to be strong in him, man, to fight in this fight that we're in, man. You see? So I'm actually go back to this precept that I got right here as well. Because like I said, the Lord is with us, man. You see? And all of these different things that ultimately it is that we face, you see? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, and I'm going to start at verse 13, right? It says, there have no temptation taking you, right? So you don't want these temptations, these different, urges and desires that the flesh ultimately tries to give you to overcome you. You don't want to give in to it. You see, you want to fight against that. It says, there have no temptation taking you, but such as is coming to man, right? But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that you may be able to bear it. So like I said, man, long as you lean unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you see, and do the things in which it is that he ultimately requires you to do to the best of your abilities, trust he's going to be with you, man. He's not going to ultimately allow you to be faced with more than what you can ultimately deal with. You see, so I'm actually go to another precept that I got, just touching on the same topic, man, because we cannot give over into this flesh, man. And, we're not perfect. We all mess up at times. But as it tells you in the book of Proverbs, a just man falleth several times and get back up. But you don't want to just willfully be going off, man. You see, no, you got to have self-control, really. And that's what it's about as well. You see, and that comes with walking after the spirit, because when you're walking after the spirit, you're going to be more disciplined. You're going to be more, in control of yourself. What does it say in let me grab that. We got to rule over our spirits, you see. Proverbs 25, right? And verse 28 in the KJV, right? And it says, he that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And that's not what you want to be in this truth, brothers and you few sisters out there. You don't want to be a city that's broken down without walls, a person that has no self-control, a person that does not, walk after the spirit. You don't want to be a person that just consistently gives over into the flesh, man. You see, because ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not dealing with that, man. You see, that's how a lot of men end up getting the spirit taken away from them. You see, that's how a lot of men end up going back into the world. You see, because ultimately they're giving over more into the flesh than into the spirit. Right. And like I said, the Lord have given us the tools that we have, you see, to where we're not able to, become that, you see. And that's why we got to constantly pray, man. You see. So I'm actually grab this one right here as well. Right. Bear with me. This is right. I'm going to grab this. Bear with me. This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 11. It says, thy word, what is the word of the Lord? The scriptures. Have I hid in mine heart, meaning our minds, that I might not sin against thee, you see? Because like I said, when you're constantly in the word and giving over your time and energy into prayer and things like that, then guess what? It's going to be impossible for these forces that we're fighting against to ultimately to overcome you. You see, it's not going to be as easy for them to overtake you when you're doing the things that the Lord wants you to do. You see, when you're, feeding more over into the spirit, you see, it's going to be hard for these spirits to ultimately to overcome you. You see. But when you're giving over more into the flesh, then, like I said, it's going to be easier for you to fall. It's going to be easier for you to give over into things that is not beneficial to your spiritual health, man. You see? Because like I said, Satan is roaring. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to that precept, you see. I paraphrased it earlier, but we're going to go and pull it out. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It says, be sober, right? You got to be sober minded. Be vigilant, right? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, you see. And that's what we got to understand. Satan is trying to swallow us up, man. You see, Satan wants you to go back into the world. You see, these forces that are fighting against you, their job is on the left-hand side to pull you back into the world. And if you're giving over more into the flesh than the spirit, then guess what? It's going to be easier for you to be sucked out of this race, sucked out of this battle. And you don't want that to happen, especially at this time, man. Seeing everything that's going on, you see, this is not the time to ultimately begin weak, and going back into the world or, giving over into the flesh, man. Even though, like I said, at times, it can be hard because, like I said, we still are in these fleshly bodies, but still we got to fight, man. We got to fight, and I'm gonna grab this precept as well, right? This is St. Luke chapter 22, verse 40. And this is Lord Yahweh Shah speaking. It said, and when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation, right? And that's what we got to honestly do. You see, we got to pray to the Lord consistently that we don't fall into temptation, that we don't fall into walking after the ways of the flesh, that we don't fall into, doing things that we know is not ultimately pleasing unto our power, man. You see, we got to consistently pray for the Lord to give us the strength to do right. You see, to lean more over into the right side rather than to the side of the flesh. You see, walking after the spirit rather than walking after the flesh. All right. And I'm actually go to this precept as well. This is Hebrews chapter 2, verse 18. It says, for in that he himself, right, talking about our Lord Yahushua, have suffered being tempted, he is all able also to succor them that are tempted. You see, and I'm gonna look at that word succor, right? So we can get a definition of it just on the AI overview real quickly. And it means assistance and support in times of hardship and distress. You see, help. So you see, our help comes from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So like I said, when we are going through these periods, which we go through it daily, because we're constantly being tested, of, when things are coming after us and things like that, then guess what? You want to constantly give it over to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you see, and allow the Lord to ultimately deal with it. You see, you want to pray, you want to, read the scriptures, do whatever it is you can do to ultimately, give it over into the hands of the Lord, trust in him and allow him to deal with it. Right. Because he is going to help us, man. You see, the Lord will never put more on us than we can bear, as I just read. You see, so we got to believe that and trust in that. So we got to be strong in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, So I'm actually go to this precept right here as well. This is bear with me. I got to grab it real quick. Right. We got to definitely trust in the Lord. You see, this is Proverbs, right? Chapter 3, verse 5. And it says, trust in the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, with all thine heart, meaning our minds, and lean not into thine own understanding. And we can't do that in these times. You see, we cannot allow the flesh to guide us. You see, we can't lean onto our own emotions and how we feel, man. Because like I said, those demons are going to throw all types of different thoughts in your mind, all type of different things to get you to, ultimately to, go back into the world, man, to get you to, lose hope, to lose faith, man, to shake your faith, to get you to start wavering, man, to doubt. You don't want to ultimately give over into those things, man. You see, so you want to trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not into your own understanding, man. You see, verse 6, and all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths, man. So long as we continue to trust in the Lord and do those things in which it is that he requires of us to do to the best of our abilities, and that we're sincerely seeking him with all our minds, then hey, he's going to direct our paths, man. You see, he's going to give us the spirit and the power through him to overcome all of these things that we're going through, man, that is trying to sift us, that is trying to pull us out of this thing, you see. So I'm going to grab this precept as well, right? This is Psalms chapter 9, and I'm going to read verse 9. It says, the Lord, Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble, you see. So guess what? In our times of need, in our times of battling and going through things in his flesh, you see, the Lord is going to be there to comfort us, man. You see, long as you're trusting in him, long as that you're doing those things that he wants you to do, man. You see, long as you're sincere, you see, because as it says on down, verse 10, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. You see, that trust in him, man. You see, because you can only seek something when you trust in it, when you believe in it, right? And long as you continue to do that, then, hey, the Lord is going to be with you, man. You see, so this is what we got to pray and hope to the Lord to keep on us, this spirit to just continually seek him and trusting in him, man. Right. So, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying to you, brothers and sisters that may come across it. With that being said, I'm going to end this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while I learn this truth 100% according to the Bible. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.